Hey, welcome back to another training. It is Sarah Michaels here, and today in this video, we're going to go over the 3 P's of pricing a premium offer. Okay, this is called the 3 P's of pricing a premium offer. Now, if you are here inside one of my courses and you're taking this, welcome. If you're taking this as a standalone training, awesome. Here's what I'm going to tell you. It doesn't matter what your offer, your industry, or your niche, or your service, or whatever it is that you're selling. This is applicable to everything in your life, and you will be able to take the concepts that we're going to talk about here in this next training and apply them. Apply them to your current offer, apply them to your next business, apply them to everything. It's going to be some foundational concepts that we are going to cover, okay? And I'm going to tell you that when it comes to selling, what you're actually selling really doesn't matter. Okay, it really doesn't matter. And now if after this course is over, or if after this training is over, if closing and having the confidence to sell high ticket, high priced offers is something that is a current obstacle or something that you're struggling with, and you just need a little bit of mentorship and support, I do provide that in the form of coaching. And also I'm going to be opening up what I'm going to call, as of right now, I'm thinking it's going to be called the Confident Kick-Ass Closers Mastermind or something, just to really be able to hone in on the skill of prospecting and closing. Because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what your offer is. It doesn't matter what your product is. It doesn't matter what your service is. In order to sell high-priced, high-ticket offers, and in order to really create success, and the reason and the mindset that's going to set you apart from other designers, if you're taking my Become a Website Designer course, what's going to set you apart and allow you to be able to charge more is not only the value that you're going to be providing, okay? Because I teach you inside of the Become a Website Designer course how not to just sell a website, but how to strategically package this as part of a bigger picture offer for the business to get them a result. Okay, so the product, disconnect yourself from like, oh, I have to have like a certain, no, it's a mindset. Okay, so if this is a skill that you're interested in working a little bit more on, just beyond this unit, well, this unit is going to give you some really valuable starters. If you want to dive deeper into that, feel free to just reach out. Otherwise, find the unit inside of here and get in contact with how we can, go over refining your skills on closing. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the 3 P's of what pricing a premium offer are. And those 3 P's are: number 1, positioning; number 2, presentation, which is your packaging and your pitch; and number 3 is perception. Okay, so positioning, presentation, and perception. Those are the 3 P's of pricing a premium offer. Now, what I want you to think about is, okay, this is what I'm going to tell you. I don't know if you have ever been to a luxury clothing store, a luxury store of any kind, because pricing a premium offer is really something that the luxury sales industry has absolutely nailed down. Okay, they have got this nailed down. All right. They know how to position their offer, they know how to present their offer, and they know how it is perceived. And that is how, when you can understand these 3 concepts, you're going to be able to have clients like tripping over themselves to work with you, throwing cash at you, throwing their credit cards at you, because it doesn't matter what your offer is. When you position it in such a way, it's going to make the right people want to work with you. Now, let's talk a little bit about positioning. Okay, what the heck is positioning? Now, when you think about positioning, I want you to think about a basic service. Now, if I were to just simply, I'm going to use the example of website design here in this metaphor. Now, if I were to just simply be selling my service of website design, and just that's all I did, I design websites, that's it, I can get a website up for you. I might have some people that are interested, but it might actually be harder for me to close people because I haven't positioned my offer, my product, or my service as a specific vehicle that can get my client a result. I haven't positioned it as a higher priced, higher ticket offer. Okay. And what I mean by that is when I'm selling my services, and this is something that I did throughout the years and why I was able to effectively close clients way out of my league and for way more than like stupid more than I should have been able to. When I was first in business, I was like 21. So 2021, like almost 10 years ago. I mean, there's no way with zero experience that I should have been able to close chains and franchises and businesses. I had no idea what I was doing. But what I was effectively doing, and innately, I just kind of knew this, I guess, is I was positioning my offer. I understood that, okay, this is a professional. I have to position myself professionally. I have to, it's an entire experience. Okay, so what I'm telling you is you can create that positioning by your brand packaging through your website. Okay, so having a professional website has to do with your positioning. You're positioning yourself as a professional, you're positioning yourself as an established expert. If you don't have professionalism, established expertise, or authority, which are three things that your potential client is looking for when they're deciding whether or not to work with you and deciding how much it's worth to work with you, like how much they're willing to pay you. Okay, so that has nothing to do with your service per se. It has everything to do about your positioning and that potential client's perception of you. Okay, so how do you change someone's position? How do you change your positioning? This is something that you have control over. You position yourself as an expert, okay, by your website, by the quality of your offer, by like the content that you have, the depth of your understanding, like that, all of that whole entire thing is positioning yourself as a premium offer. Okay, so positioning yourself as like, yeah, I cost a little bit more, but I cost more because I'm worth it. So positioning yourself as that offer and just owning it. Okay, because what I'm teaching you here, in if you're inside of the Become a Website Designer course, there are so many designers that have reached out to me either from YouTube, from design groups, from Instagram. When they find out what my prices are, they're like clawing their way into my inbox saying like, how are you charging this much? Like, what is your secret? To which I always respond, well, actually, that is a module inside of the Become a Website Designer course that I would be happy to go over with you. Because like the Joker says, right, if you're good at something, don't do it for free. I don't give away free, expert. I give away lots of free training, lots of free content, but I don't give away my best stuff for free because I'm smart. I know that I want to get paid for my expertise and that it's worth it. And so I welcome them to, join me, and some of them have, which is pretty cool. So anyway, so the difference is I position myself as premium offers. I figured out that in order to get my client the best result beyond just website design, which is kind of like anybody could be a website designer, right? I position my website design services as like an all-in-one inclusive result. And I want to show you a look into my personal, as of right now, this is the one that we just released, my personal brand package. Okay. So as you can see here from our entirely rebranded guide, which I just finished, you can see that we're positioning ourselves as a luxury, as a premium service. Okay, it's like when you see this photo, you don't think like cheap, low end, budget. I'm not going for affordable. These are words that I'm not going to use when I'm talking about my website design. Affordable, budget friendly, cheap, low cost. What do you think is the clientele, the caliber of clientele that I'm going to attract if I put those types of wording into my advertisements, into my copy on my website, into my brand marketing, if I'm using the words cheap, low cost, budget friendly, affordable, I'm going to attract the broke ass business owners who aren't making any money because they're not willing to invest into their marketing, their brand, their anything. They're the penny pinching entrepreneurs that want to squeeze something out of nothing, and they're never truly going to be successful. Okay, so the very first thing that I knew when I was pricing my premium offers and looking for the type of client that I wanted to attract, I want to attract the kind of client that has the money, that has the ability to pay me, that happily pays me in full and understands the value of my services. Okay. So when I'm positioning my offer, I'm positioning it as a premium offer, as look at this, you get to brand strategy, brand style, and some of the wording that I use is different. So you can establish your positioning with your words, with your imagery, with the overall experience. Positioning is a vibe. It's an energy, whether you want to call it confidence, whatever you want to call it. Your positioning is an embodiment. You have to embody the positioning of your offer, of like a confident premium offer. Eliminate the words low cost, budget, affordable, any kind of things like that. You're going to attract the clients that don't have the money, that are looking for cheap, easy, or free. And as we know, if you want to be successful in business, there's no such thing as cheap, easy, or free. Okay, you have to be willing to put in the work, the time, the sweat, the equity to be successful. All right, so very first off, I position myself as a high-end offer. And because I do that, and because I'm acutely aware of the wording and the clientele that this would attract, I'm able to appeal and attract my target and ideal audience. Now, for the presentation is how your offer or service is packaged. Oh my gosh. Now, I want you to understand this. There's something that higher end stores like Kate Spade or Victoria's Secret, I'm a girl, so these are the examples that I have. Okay, so forgive me, fellas. Um, you guys know the overall presentation of these stores, right? They charge more. Effectively, they're charging more for a pair of sweatpants or a sweatshirt because of the positioning. Okay, they're appealing to the right audience with just a little bit more. That audience is willing to spend a little bit extra to have the experience and the feeling of this, upgraded experience. The presentation, it's a high-end presentation. It's neat. It's like luxury, a little bit more luxury. It's not like super luxury, right? But you get what I'm saying. So it's all about the packaging. It's establishing positioning, and then you have the perception. Okay, so the presentation for your product, service, or offer, even if it's not a physical product, it's how you're positioning your product online, how you're presenting it online. Are you using the right kind of quality imagery to represent this? Are you using a brand? Are you using like a brand guide that positions your offer as higher end, luxury, better results, quality, like imagery and presentation, like your visual perception? That's like 80 to 90% of when someone is going to decide whether or not to work with you and whether you're worth, what your offer is worth, they're basing this off of their impression and perception of you. So like I always say, when you are going to go talk online, even if you're going to do a Zoom with a client or you're going to go meet with somebody, put on your freaking, like, show up. If you have the desire to have a 6 or 7 figure business, I want you to ask yourself, what would I be wearing if I were already this 6 or 7 figure successful business owner? How would I show up if I were a successful 6-figure website designer or business owner? Okay. The way that you become that what you desire to be is by bridging the gap from where you are to where you want to be. And in order to do that, you simply just start showing up as that already. You carry yourself as that successful person. You position yourself, you present yourself successfully, you show up and you act as if. Okay, because if you're showing up as like, oh, I'm just getting started, and you show up to your virtual presentations with potential clients and you're in like a freaking hoodie, okay, like if you're consulting and it's been you have a relationship with this person and you can show up and be yourself and you've gotten to that stage, great. But in the beginning, it'd be like going on a first date and wearing your comfy sweats, no bra, and like a messy hairdo. Like, that's totally not acceptable. So when you're looking at these new clients and prospective clients, you have to treat it like a new relationship and you want to put your best foot forward off the beginning. And even though you're building a business online, you still have to think about showing up professionally. Just because you work from home doesn't mean that you can like show up in your slippers and just look like a hot mess all the time and act unprofessional. So I always recommend when you're showing up for these meetings, put something on that makes you feel like a 10. Like you feel good looking, you feel confident, you feel successful, you feel whatever is going to help get you in that like next level, professional presentation. It's going to help with your positioning, your presentation, and being able to present yourself as a premium luxury next level offer. Now, the very third number P of pricing the premium offer is the perception. Okay, this is how your prospective client is perceiving you. It's their impression, it's how you've done the presentation. Okay, it's not only the presentation and the packaging of your offer. Okay, so making sure that it looks quality, right? So even if you had like a ring from Tiffany's, so let's say that this was a ring, right? And you've got this very, very large, expensive ring. If you put it in a very crappy box and it's not fancy and it's just like, and it's kind of blah, I mean, people don't just pay for this. What if this ring came in a big box and a gorgeous thing, and on the side it had a bottle of champagne and they called you, and instead of just being a ring, it turned into an entire experience? Do you feel what I'm saying? Like that is what you have to create for your clients. And that's something that we're going to dive into. So making sure that your packaging matches your premium offer. Okay? Making sure that your pitch is confident. Making sure that your pitch, the pitch is when you're actually making the proposal. You're pitching your product, service, offer, or idea to your ideal audience or your prospective client. So making sure that your pitch matches the level of your premium offer. Okay. And there's a way that you can confidently pitch your offers and close them by connecting emotionally to that. And we're going to dive a little bit deeper into that later. And the last thing, which I started to talk about and then went backwards, is perception. Okay. You can control the perception of you. Okay, I don't want you to think like, oh, how are they perceive me? Like, oh, you have control over how you are perceived. And that is by how you position yourself, how you present yourself, how you talk, how you appear, how you show up, how you speak. All of those influence your perception. Okay, so even if you've positioned your offer as premium and you're like, yay, you're saying I can do a $1,500 website for you. The presentation is on point, your packaging is on point, but you are not confident in your offer. They're going to be able to pick up on that. And so they're going to say like, oh, their perception of you is going to be like, I'm not really sure. And the reason that they're perceiving the reason that your prospective client would be unsure is because you are unsure. So there's one thing, like if you don't know or have the confidence in order to be able to pitch $1,500 websites or pre-styled sites and that might be a struggle for you. I mean, there's a lot of emotional things that go into becoming an entrepreneur. There's a lot of mindset work about actually earning. Oh my gosh, because maybe you're coming from a job or, a lower paying, lower skill industry, or maybe even you went to college and you spent all of this money and you still were maybe only earning $1,500 every 2 weeks. So the thought of you to be able to, take a skill and, spend 10 or less hours and earn 1,500 bucks, this is going to be an entirely new adjustment for you. So if that is something that you're having difficulty with, or you're just struggling with, like, can I do this? Am I qualified? Am I going to fail? Like all of those things, if you're struggling with any doubts, beliefs, feelings like that, it's going to come out in your pitch. So you've got to address those beliefs first so that when you're presenting your premium offer, you're positioning it, you're presenting it, the package is on point, the pitch is on point, the perception is there. See, when someone perceives your offer as valuable, and when I say valuable, it doesn't mean like, it means the perception is this product, service, or offer is going to help me to spend less time, less stress, and get me the result. That's all people want. People want the result. So if you're perceived as being the ability to get them from where they are to where they want to be, you can save them time, save them money, save them stress, and get them results. There you go. If you can show results, results are what people care about. Okay. And so if that perception is there, if you were perceived as being someone who can get them those results and you show up confidently, you're positioned, it really doesn't matter what you price it at, because you will be able to unlock the keys to the kingdom and you will be able to pitch and price premium offers and have clients and prospective clients lining up at your door with their wallets in hand, ready to give you their cash and their credit cards. And this is not a joke. Like, that is legit. Okay. So some of the things that we want to go into too are, never ask yourself, how can I lower the price of this product, service, or offer to make this more affordable? But always ask yourself, how can I increase the value to make this offer irresistible? Okay, never lower the price to make it more affordable, but always, how can I increase the value to make this offer irresistible? How can I add value to my price point to justify the price of this? Okay, no matter what it is that you're selling, it's all an offer. An offer focuses on the client, and figuring out how to add to that offer is able to make it irresistible is what will unlock the ability to close at these high level price points. When you have an offer, it's more than just a product, a service, it's more than just like mascara. When you have an offer, it's how that mascara can help them feel more confident. That's an offer. That's a result that that product is going to give you. Okay. You know who your target market is, what they're motivated by, and why, and what will make them buy. What are they afraid of? What do they desire? Why do they need this right now? When you can answer and ask those questions, which we're going to dive into the defining your dream client exercise, then you're able to unlock this sequence. It's a psychological sequence that has to happen before someone will make a purchase. Now, there's a lot of talk out there about the amount of time that it has to take. You've got to be building trust for 3 months or 90 days or 20 days or 2 weeks, whatever. I'm telling you, you can build instant trust with someone if you're good enough at this, and if you position it correctly, you can have somebody respond to a cold market lead and have them turn over their credit card information before never previously having seen you before or booking a call with you. Okay, so there's a lot of people out there. They say a lot of things. I'm telling you, you've got to make that true for yourself. Okay, don't just take someone else's words out there and think like, oh, it definitely takes 90 days, or it takes 21 days, or it takes 48 hours before someone will contact me, or they have to see me show up 7 times, and like, what is that? That's not. Everybody's different. Okay, so I'm trying to let you know that there's no magic number of ads that you have to place. Like, no. When you have the outright offer, you're able to position it correctly. You can unlock that psychological sequence of a prospective client going from, you know, booking a consultation to actually closing and becoming a paying client. And when you have the right offer and you know how to position it, present it, what was the last one? And how it's going to be perceived, you can outperform anyone in your field, your industry, or your niche, regardless of your level of experience. Seriously, even if you are a newbie to your industry, if you can figure out these three things, doesn't matter what your product, service, or offer is, you will be able to show up and price and pitch premium offers and close new paying clients even if you have no experience and you've never done your current product, service, or offer before. So that is why I teach specifically what I'm teaching inside of my courses, because I'm teaching my students how to show up as a brand new entrepreneur and position their sites to sell for their pre-styled sites to sell for $1,495 plus. Okay. You create an experience, you add expertise, you increase the value, and you're able to position it accordingly. So I am so excited to continually work with you in the area of building up your confidence, building up your prospecting and closing, and really helping you achieve the financial freedom and the value that you deserve from your services, because you've invested into your skills. Okay. You invested, whether it's this course, another course. When you invest in that and you continually invest in yourself, you are increasing your skills and ability. Okay, you're getting paid for your skills. And this can be incredibly challenging to grasp because we're not taught this in school. In school and in the traditional 9 to 5, in a traditional workplace, we're taught that our value is based on our amount of hours in, and that's it. Okay, you want to get paid, you show up to work. You do extra at your job, doesn't matter. You don't get paid extra. You do less than the minimum requirement. If no one catches you and you don't get fired, it really doesn't matter. You all get paid the same. So as an entrepreneur, this is an entirely new mindset that you're learning and stepping into. And it might be brand new for some of you, and it's going to take a little bit of time to really feel confident in pricing and selling premium offers. And I'll be honest with you, when I first started with website design, I didn't know how to charge. And so I was severely undercharging. And I see so many designers and service-based or skill-based entrepreneurs who have incredible skills, but they don't know the first thing about pricing a premium offer. This is something that took me a long time to learn. And so they're cheating themselves of the value that they deserve simply because they don't know how to do this section right here. When I first got started with website design, I was like thinking that $25 an hour was really good because I was still going off of the dollars per hour mindset. Okay, I didn't know about this whole value thing of basing a project's price off of the value of the project and not just my time in. It's a really big mindset shift. So I want you to get over that. If you've been struggling with that and thinking like, oh, I'm charging too much, like, no. When you are in a skill-based industry, which you're in, if you're a freelancer, a service-based entrepreneur, you're providing a high value, high level skill such as this, you get to price based on the project and the skill level and a premium offer versus hourly. Okay, because otherwise I am able to complete some of these site designs in 3 hours or less. Granted, I do have about 10 years of experience designing sites. So for example, if I were only charging hourly, I would only be charging $75 to do a website, okay, versus the $14.95 that I charge now. Okay, so you can see how my hourly rate, now just to be fair, when I initially got started out, it probably would have taken me 10 hours. Okay, so that still would have been $250 for a website. But here's the thing. If you ever start to feel like, oh, I'm cheating people out of blah, or I'm somehow gypping my client and I should be charging less, like, oh my God, no, stop. Stop. Because if you don't charge these prices, there are other designers out there who are charging astronomically more because they understand the P's of pricing a premium offer. They understand the skill based project and payment method, not the dollars per hour method. Okay, so dollars for hours, you left that behind in your 9 to 5, or maybe you're still in your 9 to 5 and you're looking to transition. You get to now base your project prices based on your skill and the overall value of the entire project and what it's worth to your client to not have to deal with that. Okay, because you got to think about it this way. If your client had to go out and learn how to design a strategic and profitable website on their own, chances are it would cost them at least $1,000 to invest into a course, at least, if not $4,000. If they're taking one of my courses, it's probably closer to $4,000. Okay. Okay, so $4,000 is what it would cost them to learn the skill on their own, not to mention the amount of time that they would have to stop putting into their business, i.e., their income producing activities, to be able to try to figure out how to design a profitable website on their own, which isn't their core value. Okay, so if pricing a premium offer is something that you struggle with, you have to think like, what is this worth to my client? What is it worth to them to just be able to pass on this to somebody else who knows how to do it, so I don't have to do it myself, and so I can continue to work on the activities in my business that are actually producing an income and a return. That alone, when you start to frame your mindset in that, like, are you feeling like, let me know if you're having an aha moment. I don't care if this is part of a course, if this is part of a training, if you're watching this and you've been really struggling with this mindset and this is going like blinking lights and like bonkers and aha moments, pick up your phone, come comment underneath of something and let me know, because I love hearing from you. I love hearing all of my clients and students aha moments. That is gold to me. Okay, so if you've been struggling with this and you're now like, oh my God, it clicked for me when someone asked me that question. Because I was struggling with charging a premium price. I was like, oh my God, but I'm like cheating the people. And one of my mentors was like, no, you're not cheating them. They're taking advantage of you and they know it. The only person that you're cheating when you're not charging this amount, like this fair amount, you're only cheating yourself. You're cheating your family, okay? Because as an entrepreneur, you have all this extra things to take care of that regular 9 to 5ers don't have to pay for. So in order to really succeed as an entrepreneur, you'd better be making more than you were in your 9 to 5, because you have to take care of insurance and taxes and other things. Okay, so the only person that you're cheating when you're not charging your premium price is yourself. Okay, and any business that wants something for less, they know that. So if there's another designer out there who's willing to cheat themselves, let them take that client. Let them take that client. And if you're not finding the clients who are hell yes all in willing to pay, then we can go through your messaging, we can go through your marketing, we can go through your branding and figure out what one of these 3 P's is out of place. Because that if any one of these 3 P's is out of place, you're not going to be able to close people on a premium offer. But if you have all of these in a row, boom, 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 it's like the 777 on, a slot machine. It's like, there you go. Okay. All right. So there's a little bit, I know we dove a little bit deeper into that. I hope you feel a little bit more confident in pricing a premium offer. We're going to dive deeper into this. This is just the overall concept. So as you know, I like to do the big picture concept, and then as we go through it and as we talk in these units, we're going to continually touch on the topics that we discussed in here. Okay, this should feel so exciting. You should feel so free. It should feel fun when you're getting paid well to do your services. Let me tell you, money is motivating. Money is so motivating. When you have that money show up in your account and you're showing up and pricing your offer accordingly, you're never going to feel like, I don't want to work with this client. You're always going to show up and do even better because you're charging for your worth and your value. And then you show up and you act accordingly, and your client gets the best possible results, which is the goal. If you want your clients to get the best possible results, then you have to be confident in knowing that what you're offering is going to help them get from where they are to where they want to be, and it is valuable and it's going to provide that result. So that is all I have for you on today's topic. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'm so excited to see you in the next lesson.